Okay, folks, I think we're going to get started here. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so very excited to have you and have you join the Algonquin College community. So folks, we are getting ready for fall 2023, and we are very excited to welcome you all. Welcome to the fall 2023 College Essentials Q&A webinar. My name is Sam, and I will be hosting this webinar today. So before we get started, I'm just going to go over a few housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded and will be available for you to watch on the ASC Hub on-demand webpage in the coming days. And we'll share a link to that webpage in the chat for your reference now. This webinar is equipped with closed captioning if you need it. To turn on closed captioning, please select the CC icon along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. We encourage you to engage with the college community throughout this event today by posting in the chat, which you're all doing so wonderfully. So great job, folks. But please refrain from sharing any personal information, such as your home address or your student ID number, and act respectfully to everyone when you're engaging in the chat. We also encourage you to ask tons of questions. So if you have a question, please post it into the Q&A tab, not the chat, the Q&A tab, which can be found along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. After every couple of presentations, we'll pause to answer a few questions pertaining to the topics that were just covered to ensure that we are answering everything for everyone. And when asking questions, please refrain from asking things that are very personal to your distinct circumstances and/or that include details such as your student ID number or home address. All right, everyone. So let's quickly take a look at the agenda before I hand the floor over to our college experts to get started. So as you can see, after every few presentations, we're going to pause to answer some of your questions. And then once all of the presentations are complete, we're going to open up the floor to all of the other questions that we haven't answered yet. And please remember to post your questions into the Q&A tab, not the chat tab, the Q&A tab, which is found along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar so that we don't miss any of your questions. All right, folks, so we're going to get started here with our first presentation. So I'm going to start by handing over the floor to our first college expert, which is Sam and Candace from the Registrar's Office.
Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about Access. You can pull up that next slide. So Access is our learners one-stop shop. It stands for Algonquin College Student Information System. Next slide. So the first good thing to know is how to defer your fees. You can postpone your fees for your upcoming semester right here in Access. You can confirm that you are attending next term and push back the remaining balance due date. Next slide, please. The next great button will be to view your timetable. So you can always view your timetable here. You don't ever have to print it again. So you can view and print your timetable once you are registered here. Next slide, please. The next one will be how to change your timetable. So if you cannot change your timetable using this drop, add, or transfer function, you can always reach out to your program coordinator, but this is a great tool if you want to drop a class, add a class, or maybe transfer a section. Next slide, please. And another great tool is, so if you need a payment receipt for any payment you've made to the college, you can view and print official payment receipts of processed payments to your student account here. Next slide, please.
Okay, so next we have under the account, print letters. This is where you can find enrollment letters, fee breakdown letters, even graduation letters. So this is a great tool if you need to go to the bank to get funding. You can get the enrollment letter right through Access. Next slide, please. When you're logging into Access and you can't remember your password, you can use this function right on the login page. It says forget your password. Here you can change it. You just need to answer your security question. If you don't remember your security question, then you would have to give the registrar's office a call so we can reset it for you. Next slide. So under the account heading, there's profile. Here you can change and update your address and alternate email along with your phone number. It's great to keep this contact up to date. Next slide, please. So if you have taken post-secondary courses that have similar learning outcomes, here under the courses heading, you can click on transfer of credit exemption and apply for an external or internal exemption. Next slide. Here on this link, you can find some Access how-to videos to just go over step by step on how to apply for things or how to use Access. So take a screenshot of this link. Next slide. Here we have our other resources. So the first link is how to access Access. The second one is our academic calendar, which has a lot of good due dates on it. And the third one is our contact us page where you can get our phone number. There's also for email, you can send us email. So this is a great other links to take a screenshot of. And thank you. Next slide.
Okay, thanks so much, Sam and Candace. So folks, we're now going to go over to ITS. So Gary, I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Okay, so we are the ITS, and if you have any issues with the computers logging in, Wi-Fi, or any software related issues, you can come to us. Can I get the next slide, please? So will you be able to go to Access in order to access your network account credentials? This will be what you use to sign in to your email as well as to Brightspace, and you'll be able to find your username, email address, as well as your initial password on Access. It will be on the top left-hand side corner of the page where it says network account info. So once you will go over and sign into Access, you can go over that page and look for your student number, email address, initial password, and username. Can I get the next slide, please? So with your network account, you'll be able to access multiple websites such as Brightspace, email, Office 365, as well as OneDrive, the Digital Resource Pro, which is where you can download all the softwares that you would need, such as Office 365 2021, and any other softwares that you might need for your courses. You can also use your network account to sign into Adobe Creative Cloud, where you can access all the Adobe Creative Suite. And also for the VPN, you would need to use that for certain software such as Apps Anywhere. And can I get the next slide, please? So Apps Anywhere is a software where you can virtualize multiple different apps. What I mean is you can stream the apps so that you don't have to download anything. And this is available for all students and for staff. And you can use it for both Windows and Macs. And you just need to sign into the VPN for certain softwares, but things such as Adobe Creative Cloud, you can use without having to sign into the VPN. And each software that is available here, we will indicate whether you need to have the VPN in order to access it or not. Can I get the next slide, please? So we are here to help for students who are working both from campus and from home. And we have multiple different types of softwares and information for us to support you guys, such as the Microsoft Authenticator help page. So for people who have need access to use the VPN, they will need to use the Microsoft Authenticator, which is an app that you have to download on your phone. And it will display a 6-digit code, which makes it harder for other people to get into your account. There's also the VPN help page, which shows how to install the VPN. So for anyone who wants to do this on their own, they can click on this link. And a lot of frequently asked questions can be found on the ITS knowledge base as well. But if you really need to, you can always just give us a call. Our extension is 5555, and we can help you even if you need to just walk through everything that you can find onto the articles. Can I get the next slide, please? So this is our fall and winter schedule. We are open from 7:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. And we are located in the basement of Building C. And our email is 5555@algonquincollege.com. Our extension is 5555. Can I get the next slide, please? Okay. So this is all from ITS. Thank you.
Okay, that was great, Gary. Thanks so much. Okay, folks, we're gonna open up the floor to a couple of questions now before we move on to our next presentation. So our first couple of questions here are for the registrar's office, so Sam and Candace. So folks, our first question is, I saw a lot of this one. I want to change my course. When can I change my course and how do I do that?
So at this point for fall, if you can't change your course or your add or drop any courses, you can change it through Access or through your program coordinator. You can find out who your program coordinator is just by searching program coordinator on the Algonquin College website and plug in the program you're coming in for.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Candace. So the next one here is it too late to apply for OSAP?
So no, it's not too late to apply. OSAP sometimes can be time consuming, so we do recommend to kind of complete it as soon as possible. But for the fall term, it is not too late.
Okay, that's awesome. And Sam, would you mind kind of telling us a little bit about what OSAP is, just in case someone doesn't know?
So OSAP is ministry funded, so you would apply for it and you could potentially get some grants and loans from the ministry to help support with your living costs and your education.
Okay, thank you. So folks, if you need OSAP and you might need some help with finances, you are still able to apply for that. Okay, so other question, folks, is why are all my classes at night? Is it possible to change the timings of my classes?
So again, just like the first question, any timetable changes, any classroom changes will have to go through your program coordinator at this point.
Okay, awesome. And our last question here for the registrar's office is, what does a hybrid class mean? Am I able to choose how often I show up in person, or do I have to be there online every day? What does that mean?
So hybrid is you do online and in person. And Candace, can you help me out on this one?
Yeah, of course. So it just means that some of your classes will be in person, some of your classes will be online. It's best just to check out on your timetable.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much, folks. So I'm now going to go over to ITS with a question. So Gary, this one's for you. Okay, so the question is, do I get a free Microsoft Office account as a student, or should I buy one?
So for all students, you have access to Office 365 while you're still studying here. For full-time students who are in the Bring Your Own Device program and have paid the technology fee, you can go over to the digital resource portal to install Office 2019 or Office 2021, and you get to keep that forever. So there's no need to pay for any offices if you're a full-time student.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Gary. And Gary, before we move on here, can you just quickly tell us if anyone needs help with anything tech related, how should they reach you?
So if you're on campus, it's best to come over to Building C. We are located at the basement of Building C in the Student Central. But if you need to give us a call, our extension is 5555, and we can help you remotely, we can easily use Zoom or a software that you use called BombGuard to remote access your computer. So you can give us a call at home or anywhere else, and we can still help you with that, even if you're not on campus.
Awesome, thanks, Gary. And sorry, Gary, I just saw one more question come in that I think is important. It's asking, can I borrow a laptop from the college for a small amount of time?
Okay, so for laptop loans, we do support that, but it's only for full-time students who are in the Bring Your Own Device program, and they are not encumbered, so they don't owe the college any money, as well as people who have paid their technology fee. Once all those criteria are met, we need to have a receipt, or an order number indicating that your computer is being repaired or it's being shipped to you, and then we'll be able to lend you a laptop for 2 weeks at a time. But if you only need the laptop for maybe a single day, then you can also go over to the library and they are able to lend it to you for a day.
Okay, that's awesome. Thanks so much, Gary. Okay, folks, we're going to move on to our next set of presentations here. So our next one is for the International Education Center. So I'm going to hand that over to Sue.
So good morning and welcome to all our new international students coming for the fall semester. We're so happy that you could join us today. Just want to let you know this is a brief overview of some of the services that the International Education Center provides, and we'll be going into a lot more detail once you come to the International Student Orientation programs. Next slide, please. So these are some of the supports that maybe you're accessing right now as you make your way to Canada for the start of classes on September 5th. We offer arrival services, guidance and assistance with any of your IRCC documents, helping you get settled into your student life. We have different student orientations that I'll talk about in an upcoming slide. You have your GuardMe health insurance, which is a mandatory health policy for all international students, and we can help you with any changes or withdrawals at the beginning of the term prior to starting your classes. Next slide. We also offer a peer tutoring program, which I'll talk about a little bit later. We run an international peer mentorship program, which matches upper level international students with our new incoming students. We host a wide variety of social and cultural events. We'll have SIN clinics. So the SIN clinics will be starting the week of August 21st. So they'll be right on campus. You can just bring your passport and your study permit. And as long as you have the proper wording on your study permit, you'll be able to get your SIN number right away. And then we do information sessions related to financial literacy, helping you find jobs on and off campus, and CRA information sessions as well. Next slide. So we also have developed an app for you. This is specifically for international students. It's called the iSent app. Hopefully some of you have already downloaded this on your smartphones. If you have not, I would just do a search in your app looking for iSent. It has lots and lots of useful information for international students. We send out push notifications about events, activities. You have links directly to a lot of the resources that we also host on some of our websites at the college. Next slide, please. So we also have a group of 5 international student advisors working in the IEC. I am one of those. All of our international student advisors do have either RISIA or RCIC certification. So we are licensed to provide you with guidance and assistance related to any of your IRCC documents. If you need to meet with any of the advisors, you can book an appointment. We'll also be having virtual drop-in sessions starting in the fall. And these are just some of the things that we can answer some of your questions related to your IRCC documents and what you need to know as an international student while you're studying here in Canada. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, if you have not already done so, we would strongly encourage you to register for the upcoming International Student Orientation. Most students here are probably going into academic programs. So if you are starting an academic program, you should be registering for one of our orientation sessions, either the one scheduled for August 28th, starting at 1 o'clock, or August 31st at 10 o'clock in the morning. You only need to register for one of these sessions. You will also be attending AC Day 1 and also going to an academic orientation, which is all for all students that are in your programs. So we will see you at one of the upcoming orientations, either August 28th or August 31st. If you happen to be a student starting our English for academic purpose programs, there will be an on-campus orientation held on September 1st. Next slide, please. So the GuardMe health insurance, as I mentioned, is a health plan that's mandatory for all international students. You do not need to register for this. You will receive an automatic email, and it'll be coming to your personal email that we have on file. And inside that, you'll have a little link that you'll have to click on to get your virtual digital card. So if you're starting classes in September, you'll have a little card and it'll be mandatory for the first year of your academic studies. We will go into a lot more detail at the orientations that we're hosting in August, late August. So you'll get lots and lots of information in regards to what you're covered for as an international student. Next slide. The free peer tutoring. So take advantage of all the services. Algonquin has a wide range of services. You're going to hear about some of those great support services that we hear, but don't be afraid to reach out, especially reach out sooner rather than later. If you find in the first couple of weeks of your studies that you're struggling and you want to get some support, you can apply for 10 hours of free peer tutoring. So you would just send an email to IEC support with your name and email and saying, I'd like to have some peer support tutoring, and then we'll set you up with some help from the Student Learning Center. And you're going to hear a little bit more about what the Student Learning Center does in one of the upcoming presentations. Next slide. Succeed in Canada. So this is also another great course. Some of you might have already been attending some of our workshop series that started the past couple of weeks. It's inside your Brightspace. You should be able to see this course. So if you have not logged on to your Brightspace, I would strongly suggest that you do and start working through some of those courses, as we have prepared lots of great information to help you get started the beginning of your terms successfully. And these are some of the topics that we cover in some of the workshops that are going on. Next slide. So again, the IC also has an events calendar, so you can access our events calendar either through the iCent app or through our website. So if you just go onto algonquincollege.com, in the search bar, you can just Google IEC events. So then you'll see the calendar showing all of our upcoming events. So if, for example, we've got the SIN clinics, there's the location of when those SIN clinics are, where you need to go, any of the upcoming workshops, IRCC or coffee drop-ins. Our office is located in the same area where ITS is. So if you want to pop in and see us, we're in C021. Otherwise, send us an email at iecsupport algonquincollege.com. We're also on social media. So if you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you're welcome to do that as well. Next slide. So thank you. And I'm going to pass it back to Sam, and probably we'll have time maybe for a couple of questions. But again, just wishing everyone best of luck with their studies. And we look forward to seeing you in September.
Thank you so much, Sue. Okay, folks, we're going to open it up to a few questions here because we do have a lot coming in for the International Education Center. So, Sue, these are all going to be for you. So the first one here is are there any international mentors who can help us with our resume and apply for jobs?
Well, we do have a whole workshop series related to finding jobs, and we partner with the Employment Center. So I would strongly suggest that students register for those events, because at those events, they do target specific things like helping students write resumes, and they go over the resources like AC Hire, where students can find jobs. It's not really the role of the peer mentors to find students jobs, but again, through connections, they might be able to point them in the right direction. But I would strongly suggest they register for the employment boot camp that's upcoming, and it's just been posted in the chat.
Okay, awesome, Sue. And I'll just read that from the chat that Sonia just posted. It says, join us on August 21st to 25th to attend our employment bootcamp series to learn about how to do your job search in Canada, write a resume and cover letter, and to learn how to succeed in an interview. So if you want to register for that, folks, please register on the International Education Center events calendar. And Sonia just posted that link to register in the chat there. Okay, thanks for that, Sue. So the next question here is, how do I get access to Succeed in Canada course on Brightspace?
So when you log into your Brightspace account, you should see the Succeed in Canada course should already be there as one of the resources. You don't need to register. If when you log into Brightspace, however, you do not see it, please just send us an email to IEC support, and we'll make sure that has been added to your Brightspace shell. But it should be automatically there for all international students as long as they've been registered for the fall term.
Okay, thanks, Sue. So the next one here is about the GuardMe plan. So can students upgrade the GuardMe plan to include a dental plan? The age bracket mentioned is up to 16 years old and they are 24.
So as I mentioned, our GuardMe plan is a health insurance plan. If they wanted to upgrade and purchase a dental plan, they would need to speak to the Students Association, because the Students Association runs the dental plan. So they'd be able to let them know what the restrictions are related to age or adding family members to that plan.
Okay, thank you, Sue. That makes sense. Okay, so this one is about the SIN clinic. So firstly, Sue, can you kind of give us like a brief idea of what a SIN is? And then I'll ask the question just so people have an idea.
Sure. So international students will have the opportunity, if you're in an academic program, to work while they're studying here in Canada. It's important to remember, for new incoming students, you're not eligible to start working until the first day of class, which would be September 5th. So once you do find a job in Canada, the employer, every person that works in Canada has a social insurance number. That's what the SIN stands for, social insurance number. So this social insurance number allows your employer to pay you once you've been working. So if you're eligible to work, international students will need to apply for the SIN number. So the SIN clinics, we have 2 people from Service Canada, which is another government office. They will be coming on campus. So that they'll be there from 9 to 3. And we have each week prior to the start of classes, we have 2 SIN clinics going on. You don't need to book an appointment. You just need to come between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Again, you need to bring your original documents, your passport, and your study permit. And on your study permit, you need to have the remarks or comments saying that you're eligible to work on or off campus. And then if you're approved, then they will give you the social insurance number right on the spot. So that's just a little bit of the background for the SIN number.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you, Sue. And then the question was, do we have a scheduled time and date for it? So yeah, Sonia just posted in the chat, the SIN clinics, the timing and the rooms for that, folks. Okay, so follow that link to see all the timings and where it's taking place. Okay, and then our last question here for you, Sue, and I'm not sure okay, so this one is it possible to extend the period of medical security because I will be traveling to Ottawa in late August? So I don't know if you can answer that one here, or maybe they should reach out to you.
I'm not sure I understand what they mean by extending it. Like, so if you have questions related to the health insurance coverage, please send an email to iecinsurance@algonquincollege.com. And then Carolyn, who's our health insurance administrator, she'll be happy to answer any of your questions. And again, once you come to our ISO, the International Student Orientations, either on the 28th or the 31st, we will also have a representative from GuardMe Insurance that will go into a lot more details of what's actually covered in regards to the health plan for international students.
Okay, thank you, Sue. So folks, make sure if you're an international student to please go to those orientations that are specific for international students. That will cover all of this way more in depth. So if you have any questions, they will be able to answer them more in depth there. So make sure you sign up for them. And it is mandatory for international students. So the link there is in the chat. Sonia Bell just posted it. So please register there. All right, so we're going to move on now, Sue. Thank you so much for answering all those questions. We're going to move now on to campus services. So I'm going to hand it over to David.
Hi, everybody. Thanks. Lots of great presentations and fantastic questions along the way. So thanks, everybody, for participating. My name is David Hall, and I work in campus services. So I'm going to give you a rundown of a handful of our services that you'll expect to take advantage of when you arrive here on campus. So let's get into the first slide. So when I say campus services, I mean these 5 specific areas. So in the next few moments, you'll hear about our food services and options on campus, our bookstore. So that's not just course materials, but also AC gear, gift shop, and some snacks along the way. Our full service print shop and the campus printers that we have around campus. Your bus pass, your student card, your lockers, a little bit about our parking services we have here. And then I'm going to touch just a little bit on our residents as we go through this presentation. So let's go to the next slide here. So lots of questions already that we've been answering in the Q&A about our card services. So there's really 2 cards that you'll have when you arrive on campus. One, your AC card. This is your student identification card. And this gives you access to certain rooms. It serves as your identification. It serves as your meal plan, helps you with tapping on our printers to release your print jobs. It's really a full service card here on campus. And the other one is the blue one you see on the screen. That is the U-Pass, which grants you unlimited access to the public transit here in Ottawa and the Gatineau region while you're a full-time student here at the Ottawa campus. So to get started with both of these, you visit the link that you see on screen, and my colleague will be putting it into the chat as well, to upload your photo. So if you go to our website, click on Getting Started or Getting Your AC Card, and you go through a process. There's 5 to 8 steps to upload the correct photo. There are certain requirements for this photo, so make sure you read the instructions. And then we'll use that one photo, we'll review it to make sure it's appropriate for the card. And then we will create both your student ID and your transit pass with the same photo. So once we approve your photo, you'll receive an email from us to book an appointment to pick it up. And appointments are pretty quick. So follow the prompts in your email. Make sure you check your spam folder, your junk email, just to make sure that any of these correspondences are getting to you. You'll book your appointment and then you pick it up right here on campus. So there'll be instructions right within that email. But if you're before the 28th day of August, you'll pick it up in E120. And then through the first 3 weeks of school or 2 weeks of school, you'll pick it up right in the central cafeteria food court area. So we'll move along to the next slide, please. We have lots of dining options on campus. There are 10 to choose from, lots of different flavors and options for you. Just on the slide here, you'll notice that they're across campus. They're from one end to the next. They're in residence. They're in our ACE building, which is across the other end of campus, and all throughout within between. So most of them are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We will be posting our hours of operation at the link you see on our screen. But it's also important to note we have a registered dietitian on staff, which means if you have any specific food requirements, restrictions, whatever it might be, you can get in touch with us. There's a contact section on the food services website, and they're happy to discuss an individual plan about how to make the most of your time dining here on campus. And we'll go to the next one. So the campus store, one of my favorite places on campus. This is a full service retail store. So like any college or university, you're going to find the college gear there. So your sweatshirts, your hats, your track pants and everything in between. But you also find your books and your course materials at this one location. It also features a technology shop. So I saw some questions about laptops. We have all the laptops that you might need for your programs. We know which laptop for which program. We can help you with that. And then little accessories that go along with all the technology, a small gift shop. And then tucked within our campus store is our full service print shop as well. So you may not need that in the first week of school, but when you're coming to printing final projects, you might need that high professional look for some of your programs. So you can be right in touch with us there. Right now, you're probably interested about your books and your book list. So do log into Booklist. You can access it from the URL that we have on the screen right now. And if you have any questions whatsoever about that, you can email us at campusstore@algonquincollege.com. You can shop in person during regular business hours or 24/7 online at thecampusstore.ca. So we'll move to the next one. Printing, there are dozens and dozens of printers through the hallways, classrooms, and laboratories here on campus. And you'll note with the image on the screen, you need your AC card to use the printers. So any student who has paid the full IT fee will be granted a print balance, which means a certain amount of money on your card. That allows you to print up to 100 black and white pages throughout the semester. If you need more, no sweat. You can always add more money to your card through our card website at any time, but you come to campus already starting with 100 black and white pages ready to go. And it's as easy as sending a print job to our printers, finding any one of the printers on campus, tapping your card to get your print job. I already mentioned our full service print shop. So if you have any more detailed questions about printing or requirements, they do literally everything from big wall displays, decals, large print jobs, small print jobs, bindery, books, stickers, decals, whatever you can think of. We have the expertise right within, right under the roof of our campus store to help you out with that. And you can access any of those details at algonquincollege.com/print. On to the next slide. And so how you choose to get to campus. So the great thing about our Ottawa campus is it's right on our major transit system here in Ottawa. So Every student has a U-Pass. They can choose to use that to take the bus to get to campus. But if you do choose to drive to campus, we have both long and short-term parking options. If you go to our website, algonquincollege.com/parking, and look for something called our options selector. It actually asks you a few questions about how many days you're going to be on campus, and then it gives you options that are the most cost-effective for your situation. So you may not only need to be on campus 1 day a week, and an annual permit may not be the best thing for that. But if you're on campus 3 or more days a week, you might want to look into getting an annual permit. So you've paid for parking before you even left the house every day that you come to school. So a little note at the bottom here, it's fully digital now. Your license plate is your parking pass. So you purchase a permit online, we register it within our system, and then you're good to go park at the designated lot on campus. So please do visit that website. There are so many options, and do choose the one that's right for you. And if you do have any questions, the website's good, but also parking at algonquincollege.com. And we'll go to the next slide. So on top of the bus and the parking, we do have several different areas to park your bikes, some in sheltered areas if you're going to cycle to campus, which is a great option, especially during the summer months. But we see bikes here on campus 12 months a year. And we do have a little repair station that you can see in the image here. In front of our student commons building. It's got all the tools you need to make final adjustments for your bicycle on the way home, including a pump to fill up those tires. So we do encourage and support our cyclists on campus. Next slide, please. Lockers are on campus throughout the campus. You can book them and rent them through Axis, which you've been using for your timetable and your fees. It's $21 a term, and there's a really handy tool in Access. It will help you determine what the closest locker to most of your classes are. So if you're interested in lockers, especially during the fall when you're bringing your jackets and in through the winter when you got boots, hats, and mitts, it's really useful to have a locker on campus. Really easy to purchase, $21 per semester if you're interested in that. So one more, and that's it for us. We do have a detailed FAQ at algonquincollege.com/campus services, or anything else. We're happy to respond to your emails at campusservices@algonquincollege.com. So congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall.
That was great. Thank you so much, David. So we're now going to hand it over to Shannon from Academic Success. Okay, folks, we're going to skip over Shannon for now, and we'll come back to Shannon. But right now, we're going to go to health services. So Elizabeth, you're up.
Thank you very much and welcome everyone. We are
Elizabeth, I think you're muted. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you. So welcome everyone. I'm Elizabeth and I'm the Health Promotion and Education Coordinator. And today I'm going to talk about health services and the Student Health and Wellness team. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. So health services is a primary care clinic that is available to all current students and staff. You can find us in room C141. It is in first floor of the C building at the Ottawa campus. So our hours of operation are from Monday to Friday, to 8:30 to 4:30. And here is our phone number, so you can book an appointment. Next slide, please. Thank you. So in health services, you can find doctors, nurses, you can find a mental health nurse. And also we have a partnership with the psychiatry clinic. We have a psychiatry clinic in partnership with the Royal Ottawa. And also we have a partnership with the Student Health and Wellness team. Next slide, please. So it is very convenient to have a clinic here at the campus, so you can receive medical attention. Here are some of the services that we offer. So we can help you if there is an emergency, you can call 911, but also we can help you to connect with other institutions if it's required. Remember to call 911 or security services if you have an emergency after our hours of operation. You can also book appointments just to talk with the doctors or nurses about your general health. You can also receive referrals to a specialist if it's needed, and you can receive TB testing, immunizations, and also all your shots for your program placements. You can also receive flu shots, allergy injections, or you can receive medical lab or health tests. For example, pap test, blood test, STI test, birth control, etc. As I mentioned before, we have a mental health nurse and a psychiatry clinic, so you can also receive this kind of attention. And we are the health promotion team as well, and we plan events and workshops about 6 pillars of health, which are general health, sleep hygiene, nutrition and fitness, sexual health, mental health, harm reduction, and substance use. And basically the main idea is to help you to balance your academic life with your personal life and general well-being. Next slide, please. Thank you. So how can we access health services? First of all, you need to register with us as a patient. I'm going to include all the links when I finish the presentation, all the links in the chat, okay? So you need to register as a new patient and you need to fill out 2 forms. Oh, thank you. Then once that you are registered, then you can call us to book your appointment. Okay, when you have your appointment, bring your health card, that it could be OHIP or GARDMI if you are an international student, and also bring your student or employee card. Then you can meet with a nurse or a doctor. We have walk-in consultations available, but if you just go there, maybe you can wait a little bit until you receive this attention, right? So booking your appointment, it is recommended, okay? Now, for your immunizations appointments, it's important that you bring this information with you. What does the academic program require? What does the placement require? When does the placement start? And how long each vaccination dosage series lasts, right? So you can plan your time ahead. You can make plans ahead of time. Remember that there is a no-show fee that is $30. So if you are unable to attend your appointment, just call us to cancel your appointment and we can offer that spot to another student. Next slide, please. Okay, so health promo. In the health promo department, we plan activities, campaigns, workshops, and we have many activities for you. It is easy, very easy to find us. We are located in the 3rd floor above a Starbucks, okay? And you can find us there. Next slide, please. Every day we will have different activities to talk about these pillars of health, okay? So in this area, you can also find the health promo team, but also the Project Lighthouse team, which is dedicated to talk about sexual health, and prevention of sexual violence, and also the Umbrella Project to talk about substance use and harm reduction, and the Beacon, that it is our peer support group. Next slide, please. Here are some of the examples of the events and activities that we run for you. So we have the lunchtime yoga every Monday from 12 to 1, and it is a hybrid event. That means that you can join us in person at the Spiritual Center, or you can join us from home or from other places by Zoom. It is also recorded and uploaded to YouTube. Next slide, please. You can also find the Purple Couch. So the Purple Couch promotes awareness amongst our students to promote mental health resources and to reduce the stigma around mental health, right? So whenever that you see the Purple Couch, just grab a seat and speak your mind. We will be there to listen to you and to give you many, many resources. Next slide, please. This is another example. It is called Time for You. And basically, we make self-care activities and we talk about self-care and the importance that self-care has in our general health and general well-being. So as you can see, basically, we're here to support you. We are here to help you to take good care of your health, to take good care of yourself so you can achieve your academic and personal goals. Next slide, please. That's everything for us. And I will be happy to answer all the questions that you have in the chat. And I also will share some links that are useful for you. Thank you very much and welcome everyone.
That was great. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. So folks, we're going to go back here quickly before we answer some questions. We're going to go over to Kelsey from Academic Success.
Thank you, Sam. Just wait for the slide. Next slide, please. There are so many people and supports available to you during your studies at Algonquin College. Each role has a different focus on the different types of questions they can answer. I'm going to go through some of them now. Next slide, please. Specifically, I'll describe the roles of your academic advisor, your student success specialist, your program coordinator, and the student integration officers. Next slide. Your program coordinator is a faculty member in your program and can help with any program-related questions. If you drop a course and need to understand how that might impact your program moving forward, they would be the best person to connect with. Next slide. Your student success specialist, or SSS, is there to help identify services that might be useful to you and to help you connect with them. If you're thinking about withdrawing from your program after the first 2 weeks or are facing some challenges in your studies, reach out to your SSS to discuss what your options are. Next slide. Your academic advisor is usually a faculty member in your program and a subject matter expert in your field. They can help you decide on academic goals, make a plan to achieve your academic goals, discuss your options after graduation. If you have any questions about a career in the field you're studying, your academic advisor is a great resource to go to. Next slide. Student integration officers, or SIOs, can help with a variety of questions and refer you to the right department when you're not sure where to turn. You can drop by our office in room C037 or submit your questions online, and we'll put a link in the chat. Next slide. You may have noticed a course called AC Cafe in your Brightspace account. You can self-enroll into this course to access lots of information and activities that will help you prepare for the start of classes. While we call it a course, it's not graded. It's just an opportunity for you to find out some important information about college before you start your semester. Next slide. The different modules in the AC Cafe address a variety of topics, such as Algonquin technology, understanding your timetable, navigating the Ottawa campus, and more. Next slide. Program orientation is a great opportunity to meet program faculty as well as your classmates. Valuable information is shared during orientation about your program, as well as how to access services such as picking up your student card. Check out the orientation website for updates on when your orientation session will occur. We'll put the link in the chat. Next slide. Thank you. That's all.
That was great. Thanks so much, Kelsey. All right, everyone, we're going to take a break here and we're going to answer some of our questions. So we have quite a few here. And Elizabeth, a lot of these are for you. So I'd like to call upon you for these next few questions. So the first question here, Elizabeth, is for you, and it is, if someone needs some counseling related to mental health, is this service available, and how would they go about reaching out for this service?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. It is very, very important question. So yes, you have different options. You can book an appointment with our counselors, and you can book an appointment in the Welcome Center. But also you can book an appointment with the mental health nurse at Health Services. The only thing that you have to do is register as a patient with us and call us to book your appointment. And you can just say that you can't, you want to see the mental health nurse.
Okay, thank you so much, Elizabeth. And that is so important, folks. Make sure to reach out. We have tons of supports on campus for mental health. So if you need any help with anything, if you're struggling, please reach out. It's just so important. We are here for you. We want to make sure you're okay. So please reach out and don't be afraid. There are tons of services available to you. Okay, Elizabeth, another question for you. So for walk-in and booking a medical checkup, are there charges for students?
Yeah, so when you have your appointment, bring your student ID and bring your OHIP card or your GuardMe card, right? And different situations will be covered by your insurance, okay? But there are some exceptions, and that will be something that you can ask them directly in Health Services, because there are different plans and different coverage for each of you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Elizabeth. And what about family members? Can family members of college students go to the college clinic?
So the Health Services, it is for current students and staff. But if you have questions or you don't know where to go, just come with us and we will give you many, many resources for your family as well.
Okay, thanks, Elizabeth. And do college students need like a health card, or what do they need when they come to the clinic?
Only your health card and student ID.
Okay, thanks so much, Elizabeth. So now some questions for campus services. So David, these ones are for you. So this one is about uploading your picture. So it's not taking, I tried uploading the picture online, but it's not taking my network information. So if they're having trouble with uploading their photos, David, what should they do and who should they contact?
Yeah, so if it's a network ID issue and it's not accepting your network ID, I would contact 5555@algonquincollege.com to get your network ID sorted out. That's our ITS area. So that's a critical step because we won't be able to identify you as a student. But if you have that and it is, and you're still getting errors along the way, there's a couple of things to look for. So throughout the steps, there's a specific size your photo needs to be. So you might need to crop it, make sure that it's the correct pixels, height and width. There is a size. So if it's too large of a file, that might hinder your uploading. All of these are on the screens as you go through the process. So if you're clicking something and the screen's not updating, make sure you go scroll up and look at the screen. There might be some red text that is now on the screen, which gives you some advice on how to upload the something that matches the requirements. Now, if all of that doesn't work, you can email us at photoid@algonquincollege.com. So that's photoid, So the word photo, then the letter I, and then the letter D at algonquincollege.com. So these folks work right within the card center. They help get the card and the UPass, and then they'll be able to help troubleshoot that with you. Great question on the 15th day of August, because we have some time to help sort that out. So good job for you. You're ahead of the game, and send us that email if all those tips don't work.
Okay, thanks, David. So the next question for you, David, is what about lockers? I know you briefly talked about this, but can you explain it again? What's the process for getting a locker?
Yeah, sure. Happy to. So lockers, you're going to need your network ID and password again. So you log into Access, ACSIS, which you should be familiar with. And then on the left, you can navigate to renting yourself a locker. And then follow the prompts which are on the screen. You'll be given a selection of options that are available. And you can choose which one you want. And it's a fee for each semester of just $21. Lots of lockers around campus, and you should be able to find one there.
Thanks, David. And folks, I would highly recommend getting a locker, especially in the winter. You're gonna have so much stuff. If you don't live close to campus or near campus, highly recommend a locker. It'll be really handy for you to keep all your winter gear in your backpack and all that stuff there. Okay, David, so can you talk a little bit about book list? So do they need to buy, so when they get their book list, is it mandatory for them to get all of the books? And then how do they go about purchasing all of those books on the list?
Yeah, great question. So you should notice in your book lists, maybe I'll start again. Every program is going to be different. Every course is going to be different because you have different professors. So it is your professors who choose what are your required resources. Those are the ones that your professors plan to use during the course of that course. And then there are suggested or recommended resources, which your professors believe will help you in your success, but may not be relied upon on a regular basis. Extra background information, extra study resources, whatever it might be. So those are two different things. If it's required, your professors have said, this is required for the course. Now, if you have questions about that, you can chat with your professors on the first week. There's not an expectation that you have everything on the very first day of school. If you're a person like me, I like to get things done ahead of time, avoid the lineups that may take place when it's so busy, order online and just go to a window and pick up everything, the first day of school or the second day. But your book list is designed by your professors to be what you need. Any questions, ask them. Now, Sam, did I miss an element of that question? I feel like I'm missing one last piece there.
No, I think you covered most of it, David.
Great.
That sounds great. Thanks so much, David. Okay, Kelsey, I'm going to go back to you really quickly from Academic Success. Just one really quick question about our program orientations. So Kelsey, can you tell us what a program orientation is, and maybe tell us a little bit about the importance of attending it on ACA 1 and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So your program orientation is a great opportunity to ask any questions you might have about your program. You'll meet some of your professors and your classmates. This takes place on ACA Day 1, so September 5th, and you can find out where your orientation session will be held on the college's website. I can put it in the chat here.
Okay, thanks so much, Kelsey. And folks, I'm going to speak to that a little bit because I'm on the events team here. So make sure that you go to on ACA Day 1, which is Tuesday, September 5th, the first day of college in the new semester. So make sure on that day that you go to your program orientation first, and then you attend all the other really fun things that are happening. Okay, so go to your program orientation. Lots of super important information will be covered there specific to your program. You'll meet your professors and you'll also meet some of your classmates. So it's really important to make those connections on the first day. And then there are tons of activities happening all over campus that day. So program orientation first, and then come to all the fun activities afterwards. All right, folks, so we're almost finished here with all of our presentations. You guys are doing amazing. You're asking so many great questions. You're being super engaged. So I just want to say thank you. You're doing such a great job already, and we really appreciate you attending this today. So our last presentation here, I'm going to hand over the floor to Sophia from the Students Association.
Thanks, Sam. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sophia, and I'm a marketing officer at the Students Association. Today, I'm going to fill you in on all of the services that we have to offer. Next slide, please. Our mission is to create an environment that inspires a passion for student success. We're here to help you with anything that you might need. Next slide, please. Here at the SA, we have an elected board of directors made up of full-time students that serve as your voice to the college administration. The board of directors regularly connects with students on campus to learn all about their wants and needs during their time at Algonquin College. Next slide, please. On this page, you'll find your board of directors for 2023-2024. The board is made up of 5 directors: Haley, Sierra, Jasper, Braden, Riley, and as well as your president, Abigail, and vice president, Nishant. Next slide, please. The Students Association puts on a number of events throughout the year, from large-scale concerts and festivals to smaller trivia nights and more. Keep an eye out on social channels to stay up to date on all of our upcoming events. Next slide, please. The Jack Doyle Athletics and Recreation Center is our newest building on the Ottawa campus. This facility has so many great features such as a rec in the varsity gym, circuit and free weight training area, group fitness classes, accessible machinery, a climbing and bouldering wall, a discovery track, as well as the Woolsden restaurant and games room that includes pool tables, golf simulator, and 10-pin bowling. Students who are fee-paying members of the SA have full access to all ARC amenities. All you have to do is complete and submit your one-time waiver. We also have varsity sports such as men's and women's basketball, soccer, volleyball, and rugby. If you're interested in playing for one of these teams, you can find the coach's information on our website and contact them directly, or try out for the teams this month. Check out events calendar on our website for exact dates and times. We also offer intramural sports, which are non-competitive sports that you can play against other students. We offer sports like ball hockey, indoor soccer, basketball, volleyball, and open badminton. Next slide, please. We have great food and drink services on the Ottawa campus. The Woolsden is our restaurant located inside the ARC. Aside from fresh house-made menu items, awesome outdoor patio, the Woolsden also features a games room. Once again, don't forget to sign your waiver to use any of the ARC amenities, including the games room. This is where you can reserve the pool tables, golf simulator, and 10-pin bowling lanes. We also own and operate a Starbucks on campus located in the student commons if you're looking for an energy boost before or after class. And the observatory will be reopening this fall. It's an excellent place to join your classmates for lunch between classes or attend a student event like pub trivia. All Students Association food locations accept student meal plan. Next slide, please. A great way to get involved on campus is becoming a class representative. Class reps are students from each program that bring academic concerns forward to our board of directors. Elevate your student experience with clubs and communities, a place where all students are welcome. Find your passion or bring one to life right here on campus. Stop by the club space to hang out with friends, make new ones, play games, and more. Next slide, please. We offer a number of different services on campus. The food cupboard is a discreet and confidential support service that provides students who are experiencing financial difficulty with food and other basic necessities. We also oversee the health and dental plan for all full-time domestic students. This plan covers dental care, prescription care, vision care, mental health support, and more. Plan details can be found online at algonquinsa.com. Funding can be provided for students looking to host graduation parties or bring in guest speakers. And in addition to this, we also have a number of different meeting and silent study rooms on campus that you can reserve. Next slide, please. Algonquin Commons Theatre is our 800-person theater located on the Ottawa campus. The theater hosts a number of different types of shows, from musicians, comedians, concerts, and even dance shows. Some past acts include Nelly, Machine Gun Kelly, Preston Pablo, and more. Next slide, please. The Pembroke campus has a fitness zone and a 2-story rock climbing wall and a gymnasium offering the same intramural sports as Ottawa. The Landing is our licensed lounge on campus that is also used as an event space. Next slide, please. The Perth campus has a fitness center with similar services offered on the Ottawa campus. Next slide, please. And are you looking for a job on campus? Because look no more, Students Association is hiring. We offer flexible hours that work around your schedules, incentives, great environment, opportunities to grow, and for some positions, you can even earn your placement hours while you work. For more information and to apply, visit algonquinsa.com/join our team. Next slide, please. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to get the fastest information about Algonquin SA events, updates, job opportunities, and more. Next slide, please. And if you're a Perth or Pembroke student, be sure to follow their campus-specific accounts. And that's it for us. Thanks so much for your time and best of luck this school year.
Thank you so much, Sophia. So, Sophia, before we wrap this up, I have a few questions for you specifically. So the first question is the athletics like fitness and yoga, the fitness and yoga classes, are they all free for students?
If you're full-time students who are paying SA fees, which are usually included in your student tuition fees, those classes are free for you. If you want to make sure or confirm, just stop by the ARC, Athletics and Recreation Center, bring your student ID, and they will help you out at the welcome desk.
Okay, thank you, Soph. So I've got another question for you, Sophia. In the gym, are there trainers that can mentor people? Like, can they hire trainers, or are there trainers available?
So ARC currently does not offer personal training. However, we do have fitness orientations. We have 2 wellness and fitness coaches. So you can email the ARC or a wellness and fitness coach online directly, and they will help you to set up a program for you or help you understand how to use equipment, more like give you a tour if you know. But yeah, we don't currently have personal trainers who can help you and train you.
Okay, thanks, Sophia. And the last question for you, Sophia, is just for the overall gym and the ARC, do students need to pay to access the ARC?
So if you're a full-time student, the ARC is free for you to use. If you're not sure what that means, if you have different semesters, just stop by the welcome desk and they will help you out. Just bring your student ID and they can help you check your membership and fees and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Sophia. Okay, folks, so I think we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot, and we've gone through all of our presentations. So I think we'll wrap it up here. But if you haven't had your specific question answered, please reach out to the specific department directly to get your question answered, because we are all here to help. We all want you to succeed. So please don't be shy and reach out to us. If you are an international student, make sure to attend those international student orientations. They are so, so important to get all of your questions answered, to meet the international student community, and just please make sure to attend those because they are super helpful. AC Day 1 is taking place on Tuesday, September 5th. So in a few weeks, I am so excited. We have a ton of amazing activities that are going to be happening that day. But again, make sure to attend your program orientation first, because that is most important, to learn all about your specific program, to connect with your teachers, to connect with other students in your program. So make sure to attend that first on AC Day 1, and then attend all the fun activities that are happening that day. But I want to again thank you very, very much for attending today. You are taking an amazing step by being here and by learning and by being open to hearing all this information. I know it's a lot, but you are so capable, and we are so excited to welcome you to the Algonquin College community. And again, this event was recorded, so if you would like to rewatch it, it will be posted on the AC Hub on-demand webpage in the coming days. And if you haven't already done so, please make sure to register for AC Day 1, which again is coming up on Tuesday, September 5th. We have lots of great activities planned for you that day, tons of so many fun things. So I really hope to see you there. And again, we'll share a link to register for that in the chat. And finally, please don't forget to visit algonquincollege.com/orientation to complete your online prep before the first day of college. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for attending. We're so happy to have you here and to be a part of the AC community. We can't wait to see you on the first day of college. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.